I was 16 when I won the Junior Open. The next year I made the Junior Davis Cup team and we cracked the semis. But the old man wasn't convinced I could finesse that success into a career. He insisted on a plan B. Medicine or law, my call. I couldn't imagine being a doctor or a lawyer. But I didn't have any better ideas, and Davy, even then, was the man with a plan. Medicine was Davy's goal, so that became my pick too. Things have always fallen into place for me, and that's the way it went down at school. I guess I was smart enough to get into medicine, but tennis didn't leave enough time for an only smart enough dude to make the cut. Then some committee of bureaucrats gave me a beautiful gift. They decided to scrap the system of full-on, your whole future depends on your score final exams, just as my turn to take a shot at them came up. A new certificate of education was introduced in its place. A big chunk of the certificate of education score was based on assignments. Mother's second son, my best buddy, did mine. All of them. And the assignments he produced for me were different from those he turned in for himself. Davy was street smart as well as book smart. Yeah, there were still exams, which Davy coached me for, and I didn't score as well on those exams as I did on my assignments. But the differences weren't large enough to trigger one of the please explains from the Certificate of Education Central Command that our school came to dread. Because I was far from the only student enjoying the benefits of coaching. I just had the best tutor. Davy and I both got into medicine, and our arrangement continued through med school. We lived together in college, courtesy of my old man. We graduated together, courtesy of Davy's note-taking while I played the second-tier tournaments overseas, and his tutoring when I flew back home to sit the exams. Once I was Dr. Southcott, I gave tennis a serious shot. When I gave it away, I even had a ranking, number 97. Yep, 97th in the world. But by then, even in my most upbeat moments, I couldn't see myself cracking the top 50. And I was over the life. Playing tennis in Paris? Sounds cool, but I spent most of my time in the city of light eating bananas in the change rooms at Roland Garros, waiting for my match to start. Reality bit. I just wasn't good enough. I quit. It was time to take a shot at Plan B, which, thanks to Davy, had been lobbed in my court. His third I need a favour call came late at night, Friday the 24th of November, a date I've now had to state so often I may as well have it tattooed on my forehead. "Ma need a refill?" I asked when I picked up. "What?" Davy said. "The meds, the flecainide, is she doing okay?" "Ah, right. No, it didn't agree with her," Davy said. "And she's fine now anyway. Her ECG's back to normal. It must have been a virus. But thanks for asking, my friend." This time Davy was calling to set up a meet. He quizzed me about my roster and decided he'd drop by emergency the next morning. I would have preferred something more convivial, but all Mother's good work hadn't turned him into a drinker. So no biggie, we went with his plan. I was sitting in the procedure room reading the paper when he rocked up on the Saturday morning. It was about 7:30. I know because 2 male nurses had just clocked on seriously hungover. The shift was already short-staffed because a bunch of nurses had called in sick. It was the day of the state election, and they could earn twice as much working as voting scrutineers as they could at the Oxford. We couldn't risk these two going home due to genuine sickness, albeit self-inflicted, so I'd set up IVs for them. They were lying on gurneys, clutching ice packs to their throbbing foreheads, waiting for the rehydration to kick in. Davy didn't look like he was travelling that well either. He was flushed and sweaty, but his greeting, "How's it going, my friend?" was regulation Davy. His outfit, not so much. He was kitted out in feeler gear. "What's with the designer threads?" I asked. "I've been in the States," he said. "I bought a bunch of stuff at the outlet stores." OK, Davy would never pay brand name prices, but why was he shelling out for workout gear, even if it was going cheap? "I've taken up jogging," he said. Jogging? That did not compute. I'd never seen Davy willingly work out. At school, he'd say real work was his exercise. He didn't need to play games or heft weights. And I got that.